Welcome back to Callahan's Corner, where you ask the questions. We answer them live right here on Facebook. Well, wanted to dive in and talk about employee training and onboarding. Big issue that we see after several of the talks I've been giving lately on the road and on some of the Facebook Lives and that. We've been talking about the 5 stages of business and the growth hurdles. And one of the biggest issues we find in most service business, particularly lawn care and landscape, is people and systems. Once we break that $1 million mark, or probably from about 750 to a million, how do we go out and actually train the people that we as business owners have hired that we don't know who they are? And we've got to actually train them, get them to a standardizing operating procedure, and then actually get them in the field with predictable systems. In addition, if you're using many of the softwares out there, CRMs, how do we go in and get a admin that may have never ever worked in the service industry, particularly in your specific lawn care, landscape, fertilizing, and how do we get them up and running within 7 to 10 days on a particular software? So what I'm going to do is break down what we've actually done in my lawn care company, and now we help hundreds of other businesses year after year with the same exact process. So I'm going to show you a training video from my lawn care company, how we actually went in and trained crew leaders and trained the trainers. One thing to keep in mind is a crew leader that has a great skill set is not always a great trainer. So we need to train the trainer, and along with training the trainer, we went in and actually did a video series with testing for all the services in the field. I'm going to show you how we broke that down. And then I'm going to show you how to break down in the office training. I'm going to show an example of service autopilot. And that's something of interest. Let us know. We have the ability to actually load this training with testing inside your service autopilot or an additional learning management system. So without any further delay, I'm going to pop the screen open here and you'll be able to actually see what we're building out. So this right here is what we built out for Callahan's Lawn Care. If you supply the videos and the questions, this is something we've actually built out for a lot of people. But the idea here is we've gone into a V2 form and embedded this video. So this is actually, as you can see here, service autopilot form. We've got certification testing here. Some of the example questions we've used. So the video itself actually goes over this. So as you go in and hit play, you can actually see we've got some learning objectives that actually come up into this. It's a low level video that we built, but it actually works. So learn the parts of the equipment, proper use of the equipment, and the proper technique when operating the mower. We go in and actually talk about the personal protection, PPE that we should be using. This is what we literally me. Zero turn mowers here, kind of off to the right. There's kind of a chute of another mower here. So we went through each type of piece of equipment that we did for the mowing. So we did this for hedge trimming, mowing, mulch installation, fertilization, and we literally went through and dove in and did it. So now we're actually talking about the controls, how to operate it, and then in addition, we actually set up a iPhone on a tripod with a wireless mic and actually made this video. And then eventually through that, I went through and actually drove the machine and showed them how to actually use the machine here. So the video itself is actually highlighting the ability to go in, go around the property 2 times, and then we showed the proper technique of turning with a zero turn mower, so we didn't actually tear up the grass. So I believe in the next turn here, as I come around, we go in and demonstrate a 3-point turn after this part here. But I actually go down and stop each part of the video, break it down, and make it digestible for the person we're training. And then once again, we've got some true false questions here in there. So that's how we tackle that. If you're looking at the stages of business as well, and I'm going to go into the office training here in a minute to give you some examples how we actually did that. This is going to be applicable for that stage 3, stage 4 business. People and systems, as you get to $1 million in revenue here, 1 to 3 million, this is where it becomes a major issue. In the lawn care landscape industry, I'm going to suggest that sometimes around that 750 mark, maybe even a little bit earlier, some of these people and system things creep in because the amount of labor that we need to fulfill those services is a little bit heavier. So these are things that I recommend once you get to scale that we need to actually start building. So first thing is we would want to tackle is in the field, all your major services, and demonstrate it. And literally, this doesn't have to be high production. It wasn't. And what we realized is when we paid professionals to actually do this, and video it, it actually resonated less with the team. So literally, this is a about a $30 tripod, a $100 wireless mic, and a smartphone on a tripod, and we just sliced the videos together. So that's how we actually did this. Next step is a lot of people using Service Autopilot or any other software for that matter are really in disbelief. How can Simple Growth go in and train somebody in 7 to 10 days and have them up and running? So this is actually the secret to success. So what we've done is done the same exact thing in here, and we've created 2 to maybe 5 minute videos, and we've broken them into 6 modules, so a total of 36 videos. And really, we start from lead acquisition all the way to billing and fulfillment. Once again, this is a form that we've built out, and these are actually available to the general public if you don't want to build them yourself. But right here, literally, lead acquisition from the office and website, lead source tracking, referral tracking, commercial versus residential priorities, billing details, the gear icon, and a skill test review. You actually have to get 100% on this to go to the next level. But this is the secret to success of training your admin on your team or virtual assistant. So that is module number 1. As we go into module number 2, we're going into two-way texting, user rights and roles, services, custom fields, job estimate templates, estimate documents, pricing grid, master packages and custom packages. And once again, a test as well. Module number 3, we go in and actually talk about the two-way texting message center, what's required, what's not. Maps Pro, the appropriate way to use Maps Pro and to route and measure. Estimate template workflow, emailing and printing estimates. A lot of questions on the user group about printing estimates. We standardize that right across the bat. The estimate loss process and estimate one process seems basic, but a lot of people are not handling the statuses of a lead, a closed lead, a client, and a canceled client. So we're teaching that literally in about a 2 to 3 minute video. And once again, we're driving them down and having testing here for accountability. And then we go into module number 4, converting a lead into a client, scheduling one-time, reoccurring jobs, waiting list jobs, and package jobs, and setting up a contract with installments. Other big issue where a lot of people are getting it wrong. We go into what the way you do it and how you should do it. Once again, if you're building this yourself, this is your roadmap. Module number 5, we're going into route optimization, overview, manual, routing with groups, and show the pins with GPS and driving directions, changing crew assignments on the fly. So good data in, good data out. Schedules live in the mobile or print, and the questions again. And then wrapping it up for module number 6 with video testing for our admin, we go in and finalize that out. So comments or questions dropping below, but I wanted to address the question that a lot of people are having here. How do we go in and create a standardized system? And plain text for video for training for most of our staff is not going to be sufficient. We need text with videos. And if we have a visual learner, this is going to be it. But a lot of stuff, it's going to be hard to actually type this out. And one day I was able to make all the mowing videos literally in about probably about 4 or 5 hours with video editing. First draft is the best draft. It doesn't need to be perfect, but literally take a note out of this here. My wife's in education. These learning objectives and what was in it was really, really important. So the parts of the equipment, proper use, proper technique when operating the mower. These are the things you want to highlight. And then literally if there's PPE or anything else that you need, include those in there. Very, very easy to do. This is literally a Google Doc that I scrolled and just did the screen recording, and I clipped them all together. But really take it down piece by piece, little chunks, and repeat yourself. Those are going to be the keys there. But if you're using your equipment with your brand of equipment, with one of your trucks in the background, that is probably the way to go. There's some great companies out there doing training videos, but unfortunately, they're not the exact equipment we're using. And when we started making some of these low budget videos, our training versus the generic ones that we bought online went up exponentially to the point where Carlos on our team literally asked for the links of all these training videos, especially for his mowing crew, because we did pay for performance or piece rate as we called it. And Carlos, when he was training, got paid straight time, but if they beat the budgeted time with quality, he got paid the piece rate. So Carlos had these in his phone or in the company's phone that was in the truck. So after they logged in for the clock in, clock out, Carlos would hand his new technician these videos, and he required him for the first week to watch the videos. And what he did is shave 2 to 3 days off of the learning curve for our mowing crews. Worked as well for maintenance, for mulch, and things like that. Now you may wonder, Mike, what would you be doing for mulch? But there was a certain technique and process that we taught to lay down mulch that made our industry production rates, now that we share with people, very, very predictable, right down to literally having a smaller garbage can, 2 of them that we put in a wheelbarrow that we used to pour the bulk mulch around the shrubs to avoid the guys holding it with their hands and moving it around or shoveling it twice. So there were some things that we did to optimize productivity that most companies in our area did not do. So we were able to visually show them how to place the cans in the wheelbarrow so they didn't spill all over the place, how to actually handle the cans and lift with their legs so they weren't blowing their backs out, and then how to actually manage it and what a proper cleanup looked like. So these are the things, if you're building out a system right now, as we're going into the new season, that I would highly recommend. But take some time, use your own equipment, $30 tripod, $100 wireless mic. You can see it's lapel mic. They've got some newer ones now that are great, that literally go right to your phone. And then just take different shots with the tripod as you kind of station it around the property. And you can clip those together on a Mac or a PC with either free or really, really cheap software. It doesn't have to be high production, but if it's showing your equipment, you've got your uniform on, and the guys or girls are watching this, it's going to resonate and work. So comments or questions, drop below. Go out, automate your office training as well as your in the field training with videos and testing. And if you have any questions or are interested in the office training from Simple Growth for Service Autopilot, drop me a private message. I'll have to show you how you do that. But otherwise, if you're building yourself, this is step-by-step direction with testing, how to actually build out a onboarding system for your office for 7 to 10 days, and how to go out and automate your field staff and tackle one of the biggest hurdles in this stage 3 to stage 4 business is people and systems. How do we go out and hire people we don't know? And how do we let those people we don't know go out and create standardized system with quality control? We do it through video training, with testing. And this is going to be key to train your trainers, because not all crew leaders that can perform it are good trainers. This would be a great vetting system if we made a tweak to this to train the trainers well. Comments, questions, drop them below. And looks like we got a question. Mike, can you do training on bulk email marketing? MSG Lawn Care. Yes, I will drop either tomorrow or the next day. I will get you a video on bulk email marketing, as well as I've got another video coming up, how to do prepay letters as well. So Callahan's Corner, you ask questions, we answer them live right here on Facebook.